Could I live with just this camera and its fixed prime lens? Well, I think the honest answer is no, and in this video I'm going to explain why. Well, I love interchangeable lens cameras as much as most photographers do, but there are times when I just want to keep it simple. At times like that, I like to carry a single camera, single lens approach, as I am today. Having something like this simple Olympus RC with its fixed 42mm lens gives me great creative freedom. But could I just use this? I have to ask myself time and time again, can I live with such a simple outfit? Now, believe it or not, every time we increase our equipment list and our arsenal of options, things can get worse for us rather than better. Now, the reason for this is choice can be bad when it comes to trying to make decisions. Humans are notoriously bad when presented with too many options, and that's what we as photographers often do. I mean, I like choice up to a point, but when it starts to get in the way of taking photographs, as it can be when you have too many lenses, that's when it's detrimental to your photography. Now let's get back to the point of today's video with this particular little camera. Now, with a camera like this, I am not going to be too conspicuous. I am inoffensive. I am non-threatening. I'm not a photographer. It's almost like when you go out with your iPhone, you can shoot what you like. Security people won't move you on. You go with a big DSLR, big mirrorless, you can get yourself in all sorts of trouble with people. They're suspicious of you. Carry something like this, you just look like a harmless snap shooter. You're just out for fun, and that's what I'm out for today, fun. I'm actually just walking along the beach, and I'm enjoying being out. There's absolutely no weight whatsoever in a camera like this. It's fun to hold, it's fun to use, it's very, very tactile. I absolutely adore shooting with it, and I should shoot with it more often. So why can't it be my only camera? And finally, when I do take out a simple camera like this Olympus RC, I feel totally free. I'm almost free from photography, to be honest. I don't feel restricted. I actually start to focus on taking pictures because there are no decisions about the camera other than to what to point it at and maybe the aperture or shutter speed. Very simple. I'm not worried about focal lengths. I'm worried about getting strong images, and strong images are what photography is all about. Oh, and another thing I forgot to mention, you don't take yourself too seriously with a camera like this. It takes you back to when you first started photography. And do you remember fun? Do you remember what fun was like in photography? Well, that's what these cameras do. They make it all fun again. Yeah, another thing, I guarantee if you turned up at a fairly bland location like this with no obvious landmarks to shoot or obvious compositions, you wouldn't get your big system camera out. Maybe you would. So, having extolled many of the virtues of these tremendous little cameras with their fixed focal length lenses, why can't I make it my only camera? Well, the reasons are many, unfortunately, and let's start with the biggest one. It's a single focal length camera. Now, nothing wrong with what I'm doing today, wandering around casually, but very often I want a long lens for those landscapes with mountainous hillsides, with big mountains in the background. I also want wide angles at times to encompass a greater sweep. This lens, it's good, but it can't do all of those things. The next reason, parallax error. I can't be exactly certain where the lens is pointing. The closer I get to things, the more uncertain I am. Things may overlap, I may get intersection between objects, and I hate that. The next problem is filters. Now, I'm not a massive filter user, but I do like to see the effects of filters on my photography, especially the likes of polarizers. Now, polarizers, if you overdo them, will darken the corners of images, mainly with wide angles admittedly, but I like to see the effect. I can't fully determine how that polarizer or how that other filter, maybe a graduate, is going to affect the shot. So there's a bit of guesswork in there, and I don't like guesswork. So having said, no, this isn't the only camera for me. It isn't the one. That doesn't mean to say I won't shoot with it. I enjoy the freedom they give me. I like the holder, I like the auto cord, I like the folders. I have a real blast. It takes me back to my fun days in photography. So yes, the little Olympus RC, not perfect, not the one, but one of the ones that I take with me. Now, if I piqued your interest and you'd like to see more from these little cameras and their ilk, have a look at this video here. I go up into the mountains and I shoot all manner of scenes with such a simple setup as this Olympus RC and another little Nikon autofocus compact. So yes, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again soon.